Yeah, hey guys, welcome back to this channel. My name is Ronnie. In this video, I'm gonna talk about my experience opening up an account with Raiz. Raiz investing app, I suppose. So for those of you who are new, in this channel I cover all topics when it comes to personal finance, investing based on my own personal experience and product and services that I use as well. So opening up a Raiz account is kind of interesting for me. When you're looking at when you're thinking of investing, first of all, most people probably think of, oh, you gotta save up a lot of money. And yeah, we started with property. So, and then I realized to myself, getting started on a property, you require a lot of fun, let's say. You require like a big lump sum of money that require you years and years of saving. So I figured, okay, I'm gonna try this thing called macro investing. Macro investing is, I guess, a product that you can invest on as little as $5, and you can earn an interest and dividends, let's say. So what that means is they're going to pay you a certain figure. I'm not sure how long it's for, but the idea of it is make your money work for you. I'm hoping by opening up this account alone, it will be a lot more bigger return compared to your term deposit, let's say, from your bank. So a typical bank these days, at the time that this is recorded, roughly about 2% per annum interest rate. So putting money in there, you'll get 2% interest per year. Some of them paid by monthly. Now I use one of those banks, so I use that as my benchmark. The idea of Raiz investing is, let's see if you can earn more money than your typical bank. So about earn more than 2%, let's say. About a week or so ago, I discovered after talking to a certain number of people, I discovered this app called Raiz, which is kind of interesting because you can start investing with $5. So on top of that, you can actually I guess round up every money that when you spend something. So for example, if you spend $4.95, you got that extra 5 cents. That 5 cents can go directly to the app, let's say, and invest. You keep on bringing in your spare coin to the nearest dollar. That way you can automatically save that without you doing any of the hard work, let's say. So that's kind of interesting. Like, say for example, if you go do your grocery shopping, you spend $102.85, so that 15 cents go automatically deducted to the investment app. So I guess this is really helpful for those of you who I guess looking at trying to save money. That always like I guess looking at one, like, to the nearest dollar, it shouldn't be that hurt because they're bound to be a couple of cents here and there, especially when you do a lot of transaction. So my experience on that was, it's kind of interesting because you can open up an account before you go to bed, which I actually did. So with a small investment, I can, with a couple of push of a button or so, you can open up the account, and the next following day you can start investing on whatever money that you have. So I guess I look at this is it's great for people who's not money savvy, let's say, like that always can't keep up with all the expenses, and at least for sure a certain cent or certain dollar value is gonna get invested. So I did, when I opened up the account, and I thought to myself, what am I doing this for? So I'm actually going to invest $15 a day, every day. And the reason I put down $15 a day was it's because, well, in a sense, if you be able to save up $15, with an average lunch, let's say, with an average lunch prices out there is about $15, under $20 or so. If you can afford lunch, then you should be able to afford to invest. So if you can afford to take out, that is. That's why I put the benchmarks quite low at $15. So yeah, it dawned on me because some people they don't even have a saving account or emergency fund or investing fund. So I figured this would be a good start of a journey when you could just open up an account before you go to bed in your bed. So whereas property, on the other hand, there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of waiting around. So the steps on a property alone, the entry point of it, it's tens of thousands of dollars, whereas this one is only $15, $10, $5. So the idea of the Raiz would be when you receive an income or dividends, or I guess if the market goes up, you don't cash it out, you reinvest on the app, so that way you can get a compound interest, so interest on an interest. And if you're religious enough, or if you're constantly adding money in there, you'll be surprised how much money you're going to make. So yeah, and there's not a lot of it's kind of interesting because you don't really have to talk to anyone about it. There's real estate agents, there is mortgage brokers, there's solicitors, there's building and pest inspection, and then there's a lot of waiting around between emails between you as a buyer and the seller, if they accept your offer, when you make an offer and all that jazz. Whereas this, click, you can open up an account. I will leave on the description my referral code. So in that code, it's kind of interesting. If you use that code, you can get a free $5. If you like free money, then when you open up an account, use my link, and I also get $5. So not only you get $5, I get $5. So it's a win-win. So I'm going to show you guys, I guess, the progress on how I go about doing this. I might actually add a bit, like maybe $1,000 or 2,000 or whatever spare coin that I can come up with, and give you guys, I guess, my take on it. So as an experiment, on the first week alone, I put down, I think, about $150. I got roughly about 50 cents. So I was a bit, wow, for $100 you get 50 cents. I mean, that's not much, but hey, that's free money in a sense. You only realize that when you actually take it out, on the other hand, but it's on paper, you actually made a profit roughly about 50 cents within a matter of a week. So it's not that bad. It's not much. I mean, if you look at it that alone, where can you actually invest on something that is so small and provide you a return like that within a short period of time, and without you really worrying about a lot of things? I used to trade. I used to be a day trader as well, and that was make your emotional decision on trading. It's a lot more stressful. This one's taking that out of it. So as a whole, Raiz so far, the only downside with Raiz is, I guess, when you open up an account, because I did it on Sunday night last week or so, it didn't actually clear like that fund. It didn't clear roughly about I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday. So but at the same time, I was doing it pretty much as an experiment. I want to know how long I guess my progress with it, and give you guys, I guess, from my point of view as a user, a new user, and throughout the year. So idea, of my investment strategy is adding $15 per day. That's what I like about Raiz. So I put an automated system in the app where every day, 7 days a week, I want the app to take $15 from my account. So, because I look at it, if you can have lunch for 7 days, eating out 7 days, at least one meal of $15 a day, that's about $105 a week, which is not that big, but that's equivalent to, I guess, I look at it as that. It's not that big investment. Everyone out there should be able to do this. And I figured, why don't I just start very low? So maybe later on I'm going to put a few $1,000s in there, and I want to know how much interest, because obviously the more money you put in this app, the more interest you're going to earn, the more dividends you're going to earn, and the quicker it is, I guess, for some people out there who knows that this app probably help you to buy a house. That might be it, or pay off a debt, or understand the concept of earning a passive income from it. When you start feeling, when you first receiving a passive income, it got really addicted. That's what I get, and so I figured you should start doing that at a young age as well. The earlier you are, invest on this, little things like this, the quicker it is that your brain can actually mature about it and think the possibility of earning a passive income without you working. So I kind of wish I knew this app a long time ago. It's been up and running in Australia anyway for about 2 years, somewhere around there. I'm not quite sure actually, but I know it's longer than 12 months. So that's that. And then the other thing is, what I like about it is because it's regulated and it requires financial services license or so, which for you to get that, for you to go through those hoops alone, it's very hard. And they're located here in Sydney, in the office, so in the heart of the city, and I know where the street is. So as a whole, it's kind of interesting. You can open up an app, start investing as little as $5, and you can do it, everything on the app. You don't need to call anyone. You don't need to speak with anyone. I didn't even know, because it's not being advertised, I guess, on your mainstream media. I guess most of financial services anyway, not really advertised on TV. So it's kind of interesting. I think it's based on a referral program, based on what I see. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I'm wanting to see if anyone out there having just a small amount of money and don't have a lot of cash, and where do you want to start investing is obviously so that's me. So I remember when I first started investing alone, I started as a term deposit. I guess for those of you who don't know, is you lock in your money with the bank for a certain number of months, and you can't touch that. So if you have, let's say $100 or so, and you lock it in for 3 months, so that lock it in with the bank for 3 months. That was my first ever, sort of my starting on investing thing. You can look at it, but you can't really touch it. So I figured it's the same thing, and based on this alone, so far I think anyway, from what I see, is that I'm hoping that this is going to be a lot higher than your high saving interest rate bank account, similar thing like a term deposit. And it shouldn't hurt much, because it's just based on a spare coin that you have. So your portfolio or your income from this will be different between one person to another. so far $135 that has been invested on this app in the past week. So I've been putting in $15 here, $15 there, and sometimes I put down like $30 or so, because I figured, why would you have your money sit there not doing anything? You have the access to put it back in your bank account if you wish to anyway, but I haven't started on withdrawing yet because it's only my first week. If you got money and they're not doing anything, why don't you put it in small things like this? So I hope this gives you an insight anyway, for those of you who's thinking of opening up a Raiz, I guess macro investing. So see you guys in the next video. Peace.